Paraphrase Vonnegut. What do we hear after a massacre? What do the birds say? But to wheat. Could you argue that Slaughterhouse-5, really Kurt Vonnegut wrote it in a crazy trance state. He even admits it in the beginning, you know, he'd been just fucking, I don't know, who knows? He's an author. Pick your fucking poison. This dude is clearly fucking in a trance state, reflecting on, again, his actual time in war, his actual run-ins in Dresden, you know, a firebomb massacre. One of many, but you know, for him, his first sort of big rupture, and it probably triggered back a trauma. That's why Slaughterhouse-5 is told, you know, Billy Pilgrim out of time, just like the Pilgrim's Progress, Regress, just like in Gravity's Rainbow and Slowthorpe, who gets taken out of it. And any kind of really convoluted postmodern literature, Hey Heidi. It combines the postmodern experience, which is just a fancy way of saying the human experience, which is always one of alienation and rupture. Now, the word for slaughterhouse is abattoir. So, Abattoir Blues by The Cave in the Bad Seeds. The sun is high up in the sky and I'm in my car, drifting down into the abattoir. Do you see what I see, dear? The air grows heavy, I listen to your breath, entwined together in this culture of death. Do you see what I see, dear? Slide on over here, let me give you a squeeze to unvert this unholy evolutionary trajectory. Can you hear what I hear, babe? Does it make you feel afraid? The sky's on fire, the dead are heaped across the land. Ooh, I went to bed last night, my moral code got jammed. Ooh, I woke up this morning with the frappuccino in my hand. Oh yeah. I kissed you once, I kissed you again. My heart, it tumbled like the Stonk Exchange. Do you feel what I feel, dear? Mass extinction, darling. Hypocrisy. These things are not really good for me. Do you see what I see, dear? The line the God throws down to you and me makes a pleasing geometry. Shall we leave this place now, dear? Is there somewhere out of here? I wake with the sparrows and I hurry off to work. The need for validation, babe, gone completely berserk. I wanted to be your Superman, but I turned out such a jerk. I got the abattoir blues. I got the abattoir blues right down to my shoes. The shoes I wore in the marathon. I got these really, again, you know, Groucho Marx, when I splurge, I splurge. So I got these really nice running shoes. I went to West Hartford, I went to West Hartford for them. And they were custom fitted and designed for my feet. And they're really good running shoes, not just running shoes, because I don't really like to run again. What are you running from, white people? Oh, I think I know. I think I know a thing or two about what you're running from. Oh, St. Anthony, St. Anthony. Help me never fucking remember all the bodies this country's fucking built on and constantly built on, and the fucking denial and the repression that's at the heart of darkness, and then, you know, we're all broken bad at the beginning, you know. But hey, I don't know. I like to pace around in circles, you know. So, I ain't no different. But, yeah, down to my shoes. This jacket's from my best friend Nick Bacon's wedding. This is what I wore. It's the suit, the one real nice suit I have with the tie. Again, like his wife Dana got us the ties, so it was more or less a reunion of the Benchmen. 2018. This is the last month I drank one end at a time, but yeah. And it was a weird Ouroboros day. I remember they picked it because they're Jewish, so they really into numerology and the significance of it. So I think it was 08, 18, 08, something like that. It was very nice. And I was scared shitless because I didn't think I'd be able to do a good job. He asked me to be his best man. Clearly, I won. With Miles being out the picture. Bleak. I was destined to be Nick's best man, He'd be mine if I ever get married. I won't, probably. Maybe I'll have a ceremony. I'll just marry fucking me and I don't know. Whatever. But he would be. He's on call for it. I've never been more nervous to give a speech, though. The bachelor party went off surprisingly well. But it stays there. It goes on in the bachelor party, stays in the bachelor party. Fucking Alfred about that, don't get me wrong. Though I fucking hang out with some Two-Faces, so it's probably gonna, it was known, but there's nothing bad. But just, but the wedding itself, I was so nervous. I was so fucking nervous. I remember even when they had to give me the ring, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it'd be in like a case or some shit. Like I remembered I was a ring bearer for my uncle when I was like 6 or something, really young. And whatever, I killed it. I caught the garter. I caught the garter. They're like, oh, I gotta put a garter going on. This can't be doing this. And I'm just like, yeah, man, hey, man, come on. I found her son. But no, the ring was loose. It was loosey-goosey, man. It was loosey-goosey like I used to be most of my life. I tell you what, I had to put it in my pocket. The loose little thing. So the whole time I'm touching it like I'm fucking Frodo, like I'm fucking Gollum. So, oh my god, don't lose it. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. What if I lose the ring? And like, trust me, there's a lot of pressure on me. There were a lot of people there who weren't cool, like me and the boys. There's some people there that were fucking trying to beat the marks about it, and they were worried because, again, I was a fucking raving alcoholic pothead, so, I mean, I know what I'm doing. Wild cards. But again, I kind of knew it. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I was worried. So I didn't really drink as much and smoke as much, which meant my anxiety was bloop. But the suit really held together. And gave a speech. My friend Caitlin, the bridesmaid, she went first. And again, she did an amazing job. I think objectively her speech was better than mine. Like if you break it down, like the words she said, like if you just look at it, if it was put written down, she was better than mine. I've rewatched it a few times. She was better than mine. I stole the show though because white man's lie. But no, I did. It was from the heart. I'd planned. For weeks, and I knew I was like, don't write it down. But again, I like to plan things where maybe I know what I'm going to say at the end, but it always, I'm always usually just winging it. So I was really nervous, and I used the Hedwig and the Angry Inch song "Origin of Love" as like a thematic crux, and then from there it just worked itself out. I really touched a lot of people in that room. It was a big room. It was at the old the Pond House, which I've been to a few times. All different worlds, and I forget how many people there were. Maybe 200. It wasn't huge, big, but it was big enough. Dana and Nick, they touched a lot of people. They made a lot of good friends. We've made a lot of good friends. George, remember? No man is a failure who has friends. So that was the kind of energy. That George Bailey energy I was bringing to the speech. And, again, I can critique it, but it really, it wasn't dark. There weren't any dark jokes, maybe like one or two, like wink wink subtext, but it was just from the heart. It was just from the heart. And people coming up to me. And again, at that point, I was like, well, time to really, well, got some time to regress and make some mistakes. And I did something really good, But then people, they're never going to forget that. I mean, we're all gonna forget it eventually, like Ozymandias, but I did a good thing. Far, far better thing. But I wasn't the hero. Again, I was Two-Face. The hero was John Bacon, my friend Nick's father, who bought me this suit. Now, I could have afforded it, but he offered. And I knew, because again, I'm a bone collector. I know bad. I know good. I know really good. I know the really, really, not the boners, not the ham bones. I know what makes the dry bones really come to life. And that's what that offer was. And I even said this to him because, again, I like to talk, but I know when words are important. I said, hey, yeah, thank you. My father would offer the same for Nick, so. It's the entirety of the acknowledgments for my thesis. To my father, Bill, for many things, but mostly for teaching me that it was always more important to be a good person than just a good student. Your humble but indignant teamster teachings kept me grounded. You will always be my hero. To my mother, Anne, for not getting a babysitter and taking me to her job at a video store when I was a child, allowing me to watch any VHS I wanted, even the ones I probably shouldn't have seen at that age. My uneasy fascination with visual media, especially its lower permutations, started there. To my sister Mindy, for showing me that strength comes not just from books, but from the inside. You were a shining example any time I needed to get back on my feet after being knocked down. To Nick Bacon, my best friend and surrogate brother, you constantly make me a smarter, funnier, and more compassionate human being. You were a pivotal part of my life since back when my idea of good literature was the Goosebumps series. To Diana Lest, you were my muse throughout this whole process. It may have made me see far less of you than I would have liked, but your presence was always with me. I love you. To Chris Hager, for being an exceptional thesis advisor and an exceptional source of intellectual inspiration. Your superior insights and commitment helped me from drowning. To every other single professor I had at Trinity, there's fragments of all of your lessons and goodwill in these pages. Thank you. I've written a lot of bullshit in my day. Trust me, I'm a bullshit artist. That's why I'm good at detecting it. I've written a lot of things, said a lot of things, made a lot of promises, empty ones, hollow ones. Crossed my heart when I didn't even know. I go back. Sometimes I'm in mid-sentence and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's wrong. Every word of that was true. That's the best part of my thesis, was the acknowledgments. The best thing I ever written is that page, a single scrap. And my father's kept in so many different forms. Every word of it's still true. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I mean it. And not to be selfish and make it all about me. Now, I got 2 superlatives on my high school yearbook, which is somewhere there. Class brain. And most disorganized. But I really am the luckiest man in East Hartford. That wasn't one, but it should have been. I really am. I think. I don't know. I really don't. Who's the hero in Memento? Who's the hero in Memento? It's not Leonard, that's for goddamn sure. It's not Teddy, that's for goddamn sure. Who's the hero in Memento? It's Leroy Jenkins.